So let me know if you resonate with this. You got a goal. You got a vision for what you want to accomplish, something you're really passionate about. And then you start going after the habits and behaviors every single day that are going to get you to where you want to go. You are pumped up, you are working hard, you're seeing progress, and things are great. And then all of a sudden, wham, out of nowhere, challenges start to come your way. The schedule gets overtaken by the kids, you get sick, your boss is a jerk and he ruins everything in your life. Okay, well, maybe that's a tad over dramatic, but you understand what I'm saying. Well, I want you to know you're not alone. This is not unique to you. It happens to every single one of us. And I want to give you something that's going to help if you're stuck in the rut of just going through the same patterns every single day to help you break the monotony and get back on track with your purpose. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to break down the 4 things that you need to do globally to help you get back on track, okay? So I'm going to break it down on the whiteboard. Let's do it. Number 1, purpose. Number 2 is process. Number 3 is persistence. And number 4 is reset. Okay? So as we look at this, there are a couple things. Number 1 is purpose. Look, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. If you're a professional athlete, if you're working at a job, if you're a parent, it doesn't matter. Everything comes back to purpose. If you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a reason why you're doing something, it will ultimately be easy to get off track. Take losing weight, for example. Look, everybody says, hey, I want to lose some weight and I want to feel better about where I'm at. Maybe drop a dress size, drop a pant size. I want to feel good. But the problem is that's not specific enough. It's not something that's going to keep you on task. And that's not just me saying that. It's actually verified. You see, if you look and read through Atomic Habits, it talks about identity-based habits. We need to identify things with a vision and a purpose of where we want to go. So we need to figure something out. If you say, I just want to lose weight, that's not strong enough to keep you from going, well, I also like beer and pizza on the weekends, okay? Something can overtake a very vague goal. So really, the goal is that you need to sit down, you need to get quiet for just a few minutes, and you need to figure out, what do I really want to accomplish? And if you do that, you can actually get something on paper. We need to write it down. And you need to be vocal about it. You need to tell people about it. You need to have a purpose and a vision for where you want to go. Whether it's there's a certain look that I want to have, or there's a thing that I want to achieve at work, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Create clarity of purpose, and it will push you through anything. It's like a magnet. Right? It's like a strong magnet that will pull you through all the sludge and all the crap and all the garbage of life that sometimes just gets in the way. But if you have a strong purpose, that is where it's going to help you to get through all the stuff. So really, you need to stop for a second and figure out what you really want to accomplish. If you can do that, it will be the catalyst to set you on fire. So number 1 is your purpose. You can call it whatever you want. Purpose, why, your burn, your mission, I don't care. Get a vision. Create a vision board if you need to create clarity of where you want to go. That's number 1, is purpose. Number 2 is process. This purpose feeds into your process. If you're motivated and you understand what you need to do, where you want to go, what your vision looks like, who you want to become, then it starts to lead into the process. And this is where we start to get some stuff done. This is where, in the process of everyday life, we start to go, how do I need to show up? Right? If we know where we want to go and we know what our vision is, then ultimately the process starts by us going, I'm going to reverse engineer my life. So you start to go backwards. You go, here's the vision. Now I'm going to start to look at the end goal. If I were to fit into X dress size, if I were to meet this goal, if I were to become this thing at work, how would that look? What would that person look like? And then you work it back, if someone were to look specifically like the person that has the look that I want physically, you know what? They work out 4 days a week. And then they're active a couple other days, right? So they're walking, they're moving, they're doing bike rides, cardiovascular work. Also, think globally first. Don't get into the nitty gritty, right? If you look at, physically, we talk about this because obviously that's what we do in fitness. If you're having issues figuring out what should I start with, you start with this. Start with 100 ounces of water a day. Half your body weight plus 15 approximately. You start with that and you go, Justin, that's just not sexy. I know it's not. It's okay. But that's the building block. Okay, then number 2, you go, are you eating 100 grams of protein per day? And you're like, Justin, this is so stupid. Yeah, I know. It's that simple. But the problem with eating 100 grams of protein means you're going to have to prep some chicken. You're going to have some beef ready to go. You're going to have to eat turkey. You're going to have to switch some of the things that you're eating out. You're going to have to start preparing your meals with the protein first. Are you getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep? You go like, oh my gosh, seriously? The people that get to where they want to go physically are doing most of these things. Okay? So you can start by looking at the big picture, reverse engineer your life and go, what are the big rocks? What are the big things that are easy that I can start to knock out? This is what I'm going to do. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to make sure I drink my water. I'm going to get my protein, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you're like, hey, you know what? I got that. Boom, good. Cross that one off the list. And then start to work from there. How do we reduce stress? Things like that. What time of day do you get up and work out? Do you have your workouts planned? Right? All of those things are about creating the process. You've heard this, people say, trust the process, attack the process. Well, you have to first have a process in order to trust it, and you have to attack it in order to make your dreams come true, right? So, have your purpose, which will create your process, because we're going to reverse engineer your vision. And then you go to this. Be persistent. Okay? The problem is we go like, all right, I see a vision. I know what I want to do. And then I figure out the process. I'm going to work out multiple days. And then you go like, all right, I worked out 2 days this week and I feel really good. But I didn't lose any weight, man. It's like, yeah, okay, great. Keep going. Right? Winners don't worry about the short term in terms of results. Right? The process is important because it gives us what we need to do in the short term, right? We think big picture results over a long term, correct? But short term becomes about the process, and that means persistence. And you're going to have to show up. And you know what? It's probably going to take a little longer than you think. It's going to take a little longer than you hope for, but it's going to be worth it. So we have to have purpose, we have to start with our process, and then we have to be persistent in that. But here's the last piece that's super important. Everybody gets sick, schedule gets in the way, you have to travel, all kinds of stuff comes up, okay? And you're going to get off track, right? Actually, it's not necessarily off track. You need to take a break, right? At some point, you can't just be on all the time. If you think of an athlete, they have an off season, they have a preseason, they have an in season, and they have a postseason. There's 4 phases of an athletic profile. So for you can't just be in fat loss, weight loss phase all the time. So you're going to go on vacation and you're going to have a couple Mai Tais, a margarita, and some pizza. That's okay. When you come back, we're going to reset. If you fall off track through the course of the week, because you went out and had some fun with your friends, right? Number 1, maybe you shouldn't look at that as falling off track. Number 2, if you totally derail yourself, then you need to reset. We need to reset because our goal is to get back on track as soon as possible. People get lost in here where it's like, I fell off track. I didn't eat this. Now I'm just way off. So instead of doing this and going like, I'm going to beat myself up, or you know what, I ate crappy yesterday, so today's Tuesday, so I guess, you know what, I'll just restart. I'll wait till next Monday. So then you go, all right, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 6 days now. So rather than mitigate the issue by going, I had one maybe bad day, which actually wasn't a bad day, it was a bad meal. Now you've made it 6 days of bad stuff. And now you have to overcome that. Don't put it off. Just restart. Every day is a new day. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind every single day. Renew it. You go back to your vision, you go back to your purpose, and you say, this is what I was excited about. And just because I didn't get it on the first try doesn't mean that I can't give it another try. So you go back and you reset yourself and you say, you know what? What are the habits that I need to get back into in order to propel me back to this? Because the problem is once you get purpose of process, you have some persistence, you get a little off track. All you have to do is go back to the process. But you have to remember your vision and your purpose. So I want to encourage you, get clear on your purpose, on your reason why. Okay? And just start moving in that direction. You may not like sit down and write out everything and go like, hey, I perfectly mapped out the next 50 years of my life. That's not going to happen. But maybe you create a little something. What's a little burn? What's a little angst inside of you that goes like, you know what? I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to look this way anymore. I don't want to have to get up and go to that job anymore. So rather than get up and sulking in it and being upset and angry, you go, you know what? I'm going to start to move in a different direction. And all you have to take is one step. One step today. That's all you have to do. So I want to encourage you today. Get clear on what you want to accomplish. And then start moving in that direction. Hey, if you have questions, drop a comment to me below. I would love to connect with you on this. And don't forget, as always, to be great today. Let's go.